yeah, we're gonna review this, and I have some issues with it. Roll the intro. Welcome back, everybody, to my review of TMNT The Cowabunga Collection. So let's go ahead and, as you can see, I got it for the PS5. I'm gonna start this up. And this collection is a gorgeous collection. As you see, Channel 3 just popped up there. Now, I haven't fully delved into it, but I know a lot of features. And I don't know if any of you heard that intro, but there is something wrong. Yes, that is not the original TMNT theme song from the 80s Turtles. It is a redone one that came out on the original Turtles arcade 1-up machine, and the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles pinball machine is actually where it originally started. So it is unfortunate to say that yes, I did check, and I'll show you all just because. We'll pick Leo for the. So, hopefully it's not too low for you in that scene, but I wanted to make sure that you guys could turn it up on your own. I didn't want it to blast and blare in everybody's ear. So, yes, for sure, they have messed with the games. So, the original intro theme song is dubbed by someone else. Couldn't tell you who. They didn't do a horrible job. I think they did an alright job. But for sure, not the original. So let's go with some positive stuff first, and then I'll break down the stuff I dislike at the end, and I will give a rating on this, which is not something I typically do. I am a big Turtles fan. I own the original. To give you guys a hint, for those of you who do follow me or watch any of my content, or have seen my Polymega console and what I have in it, I own the original games, not just emulated ROMs. I own TMNT 1, 2, the arcade game, and 3, Manhattan Project on the NES. I own Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 4, Turtles in Time for the Super Nintendo. I own Follow the Foot Clan, the first game for the Game Boy. I do not own the second or third one on the Game Boy. Then I do have Tournament Fighters for the NES. I have Tournament Fighters for the Super NES, and I also do not have it for the Genesis. Then we move over to the arcade games. Now, this is where it kind of course, differs, because you have to either own the arcade machine or another method, right? So, I have the original Turtles arcade on my Xbox 360 from years ago. And if you didn't get it then, you could never have it again. I also own TMNT Turtles in Time Reshelled, which was the arcade version, done by Ubisoft, which not a lot of people liked that one because it was a 3D more aspect of the Turtles running around in a more different feel. It was okay. I can understand everybody's feel of why they didn't like it. To each their own, and I understand some theme songs weren't there and things weren't paid for as well, with some licensing and whatnot. So, the only other way to own Turtles in Time is, of course, if you guys have seen my channel, you know I own the arcade 1-up version of Turtles in Time, the cabinet, which in that one has the original TMNT arcade game theme song. and everything is there and works properly. So let's get down to what we have in features and stuff for this game, okay? Let's start here at options, and we'll kind of go around. So you get your languages, okay? You get your vibration features. We'll go to the Turtles layer now. We'll just take a look. So you have this awesome search feature, which I don't know why we need it, but it's cool that it's here. I mean, there you go. You can see all the games right there in their glory, from the box arts and stuff, between Japanese versions and American versions. Pretty cool, pretty cool. Let's go into a little bit more. So here we'll go with game boxes. So yeah, there you go. So they went out and they got the original boxes for each of these games, flattened them and scanned them for us to view. Pretty cool. It's neat to see the boxes that I originally had growing up as I bought these games. Now, of course, as a kid, I never kept the boxes. I threw them away, except for my Genesis boxes, which I don't own anymore because, of course, at a garage sale I sold all that stuff. So now I have it all. I have a good portion of my stuff back now, of course, but yeah, not paying those crazy prices. But I do own a lot of this stuff still, which I'm happy that I do. For those of you who do, like I said, do follow me, you know. But it's cool to see all this stuff. And, you know, here's the manuals for each of these games. You know, there you go, TMNT, the arcade game. You know, and you can go through, and it's all here, just perfectly scanned. Manhattan Project. For those of you out there who big Tournament Fighter fans, here you go. You know, let's see. I guess Radical Rescue, from what I hear, is an amazing game. It's unfortunate I never got to play it. I was gonna say I will someday. I will now. Turtles in Time, for all of those who love Turtles in Time. And Hyperstone Heist. So I want to give at least a little bit of shout out since I'm sitting here at Hyperstone Heist. So the differences between Hyperstone Heist and Turtles in Time was about Konami wanting to put Turtles in Time on the Sega Genesis, but of course because Nintendo and their rights and licensing, they could not put Turtles in Time on the Genesis. So what they did is they took a lot of the same assets of Turtles in Time and put it into this game, but there is no time travel. So a lot of the same scenes are in this game. Maybe I think one or two locations, but it is a different game. Not as many stages as Turtles in Time for Super NES, but the stages are longer, much longer. I would say Hyperstone Heist, dare I say it, is a little bit of a harder game. But the graphics are great. Absolutely phenomenal. So, alright, so you've seen how this all looks. I mean, like I said, it's just gorgeous. And we'll go through here. We're sitting here at Manhattan Project. It looks good, you know. You got your story and everything for what happens. Fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. Alright, so like I said, search. So we can go to, we can just hit all here. Let's see, search. How do I do this? I know I saw this at some point. Show controls. How was this done here? Show tags. Well, let's see. Well, you guys are gonna get to experience this a little bit with me. This might be a little bit longer review, but I'm gonna try and go as in-depth as I can. Okay, search. Let's do... How about this? Let's do, TV episode. No. Game manual. That's where it becomes a little difficult. Advertisement, game box, cat. Maybe here? Right, search. I thought there was a way that you actually typed in a name, and I'm sure it's here somewhere. Because it shows tags, and the tags are up there, and it tells you there. category. Oh, wow. Oh, okay, so there was more. So let me actually scroll down then. So platform, it goes by platform, game. And you can keep going down. You can look up special vehicles like Krang's two-leg battle walker. Tells you there's 11 items, so you hit search. And there's his little battle walkers and everything, and how cool is that, right? Shows you like where it's located and absolutely cool. Let's see, Krang's UFO. So there's 9 items. We'll do a search for that. So his UFO is seen. How do we zoom in again? All right. So you can see. So you can see his UFO is right there in Turtles in Time. So that's where that one comes up. It's pulled up because of that. Let's go to the next page. Again, Turtles in Time. It's. Whoop, whoop, whoop. I want to use the left stick, and that's what's messing me up here. So right there again. Okay. Next, again, Turtles in Time. We've already seen it, but then it shows like extra little drawings and stuff, and I guess how it came to be. Manuals and stuff. Arcade versions. They've really got it in here. All right, so you get the idea of where this works. I think it's pretty cool. Alright, one more. Turtle Blimp. So here you go, with some toys. More drawings, stuff in the maps. Looks like from the game. Of course, I don't know Japanese. Okay, so the Turtle Blimp is right there in the background from an older book. There's the Turtle Blimp from the series. Again, so anyways, you guys get the idea. I think it's pretty cool. We'll just go back over to the top, and again, there's a lot of got it clear. Okay, yeah, there's 3,741 things to look at, so that's pretty neat. Next up is strategy guides. So they made like this Nintendo Power, old school. Something you might see, maybe even from GamePro from back in the day. Of course, I could be wrong. Little strategy guide of how to beat, certain people. What to watch out for. Very neat. Very cool. I mean, it's good for those of you who didn't get to play the games, or maybe you want to learn something new. I mean, this is Tournament Fighters here, so it tells you here, use Final Attack in story mode. Press up, left, down, right, X, Y, B, A, X, Y, B, A, X, and then wait for an explosion sound, and you're good to start smashing. Sounds like a lot, but I'm not an amazing fighter. I'm not good at fighting games anymore, but I mean, it's old school. I'm gonna give it its go, so that's pretty cool. What else we got? So, and then it goes, so it goes through each character. That's pretty cool. Alright, so then we got music. We got Turtles in Time. Wait, what? So, this is a screw up. Yeah, this is a mess up. That should not say Turtles in Time, everybody. That is Turtles in Time. This one's the. I mean, it says it right there at the bottom, but yeah, interesting. I quickly caught that. So this is supposed to be the first TMNT. This is Turtles in Time, with of course the Pizza Power, Channel 6, Alley Cat Blues. Follow the Foot Clan, and you've got the entire soundtrack here for each of these games, which is very neat to have. I'm glad they did it. Behind the scenes, so what do we got here? Style guide excerpts. Neat little stuff here. behind the scenes for the NES. Concepts. So there you go. Obviously, I cannot read Japanese, but you can pull up captions, so you can actually read Japanese now. Sort of. In English. And translated. So they took the time, they went through, and they translated all this. So you can do that. And of course, if you already read Japanese, you can just simply turn it back off. Very unique, very cool. Enemy designs, design documents, very cool stuff. And of course, it goes into each game. Animated shows. So we got TMNT, the 80s Turtles from 1987. We got the 2003 Turtles, 2012. And Rise of the TMNT. I'm not a fan, but maybe some of you are. I liked all these Turtles up until Rise. It's just not for me. It's a different Turtles for sure. Then comic books. Now, I want to make sure. Let me go back, actually. These are not full episodes. Yes, it says Season 1, 2, and all that, but these are just pictures. These are not, like, full episodes. I would imagine this would be super, super, super expensive if it had everything like that. But it does not. So, and same thing with comic books. So these are just, you know, the fronts of the comics, how they've aged through time. Very cool, very cool. Ads and catalogs, so magazine advertisements. Very cool stuff here that they took it out of, you know. There you go. Go back and get that tiger helmet, which I did own that one, by the way. Not anymore, but I used to. Cool that they went through and found all this stuff in, you know, just magazines and whatnot, and just very, very neat stuff. Catalogs and media kits. Interesting, very interesting. Alright. And we're back at boxes and manuals, which we already saw earlier. Okay. So that's cool. And then we'll get to online in a minute. So let's go and check out all the games. So here we've got this very amazing looking comic book looking menu system. It just looks fantastic. So here we've got the arcade version of TMNT, for those of you who still kind of consider TMNT 2 arcade. Arcade version, playable online and everything. Again, we'll get to all that in a minute. So Turtles 1 arcade. The next one we have Turtles in Time for the arcade, 4 players as well. Then we have Super NES, Turtles in Time, 2 players only. Tournament Fighters, 2 players only for Super NES as well. Hyperstone Heist, beat 'em up, for the Sega Genesis. Again, we're back at Tournament Fighters. Of course, again, it's a fighting game. This is the Genesis version. Again, all you know, these are all 2 players. So Tournament Fighters as well, 2 players. They have TMNT 1 for the NES. Only a 1-player game, considered to be one of the hardest games. I would say over the years, everything that I've understood about this game is, it's one of the hardest games, but most underrated in the sense of how the game is actually played. Each turtle actually does something completely different and unique, and you have to use their abilities to actually get through it, which, growing up as a kid, I didn't know that. I just wanted to play Leonardo, or Donatello, or gotta be the party guy, you know? And I always thought Raph would just be the guy who would probably do the most damage, and this and that. It's... You'll have to look it up. There's a lot to it. So then here's the dumbed-down version of TMNT, the arcade game, is Turtles 2, the arcade game for the NES. This is we're back to 2-player game here. This is a little bit longer than the arcade version, but again, not 4 players, only 2 players. Now we go back to, up to the next one, TMNT 3, The Manhattan Project. Again, this is a 2-player game. I actually think this game is quite amazing. One thing you'll notice is it says Leo, and it looks like Michelangelo in the picture, and that's because for some reason they didn't change the color palettes for each of those guys, so, yeah, actually even they're holding the turtle symbol, it's just like the same turtle holding, and sitting there, and we're missing a turtle in there. There's 4 turtles, not 3. So maybe it's supposed to be, oh, there's 3 of them here, and you're, playing as one of them. Whatever. Anyways, moving on. Tournament Fighters for the NES. That too is a 2-player game. And then we're going to Game Boy. So all these, of course, are 1 player. We've got Follow the Foot Clan, Turtles 2, Back from the Sewers, and Turtles 3, Radical Rescue. Which, dare I say it, I think is kind of like a Metroidvania. And then you're back at TMNT. So, they did add some things like you can watch. So I can, well, let's not watch this one. Quit. You can actually watch people play through this game. So I skipped ahead, and this is somebody who's played through, and from what I understand, it's a no-hit, and I can take control whenever I feel like. So I hit play, and now that's actually me playing. Pretty unique. You can just watch it go through the game. Now I think you could do that YouTube and whatnot, but it's cool. It's there, and of course you have a rewind feature as well. Now let's get to the part where I'm disappointed. Online. So the only online games you have is the Turtles Arcade, which is 4 players. Turtles in Time, 4 player, arcade as well. The Super NES Turtles Tournament Fighters, which that's cool for the first time ever. Hyperstone Heist, very cool. But hey, look at that, we are back at the arcade game. So my disappointment here is because I already have a lot of these games and I played them all growing up. I don't have anybody around me that's going to want to play these, so I gotta be able to play online. And my disappointment is that I cannot play Turtles 2, the arcade game on NES, the Manhattan Project, which is an amazing NES game, and at least the Super Nintendo version of Turtles in Time, Turtles 4, which is a longer game than the arcade version, and to a lot of people, probably the best version, even though the arcade version has more animation to it. So I feel, a little left out. We have the Nintendo Switch that can do NES games and Super NES games and some Genesis games now, and maybe some N64 as well. Yeah, actually N64. And you can play them online with your friends. Now, there's some things I can note here. Maybe it's an emulator issue that they couldn't get to work right for some of these. Maybe Nintendo has the license and they're planning to do this 2 years from now on their service, and so they couldn't do it. There's a lot of possibilities here, but for me, I understand this is $40, but I would have paid 60, dare I say it, $80 to have all these games online to play with a friend. TMNT 2 for the NES, TMNT 3 for the NES, TMNT 4, Turtles in Time for Super Nintendo, and Hyperstone Heist, Tournament Fighters. True, I don't need all 3 versions of Tournament Fighters online. True. I don't, and obviously the single-player games, all the Game Boy and the first NES Turtles game, I don't need online either, but there you go, and my feel of this would get a straight-up 10 from me if everything was online, and I feel like rather than spending money on all these boxes, because these are like collector's boxes they went out to go get, all this art to go find, all that costs money to go get, find, scan. It takes time. Everything takes time. An amazing menu system, which they pour their heart and soul out into. I know everyone's giving this around, a certain point, but I gotta be honest and give my point. I'm disappointed. I was hoping to play with my friend, and really get to play the older games too, the NES versions, and get a lot of playtime out of this, but we're not going to play but a couple rounds of Tournament Fighters. So that just leaves Hyperstone Heist for a one-time playthrough, and then the, which is a hard game, might take us a couple, but the other 2, Turtles Arcade and, Turtles Turtles in Time arcade, it's going to be a one-time playthrough and it's over. So it would have been great to keep coming back to this game to play the others. And because of that, I am going to give this game an unfortunate 7.5. Sorry. For me, it missed the mark of what I really hoped to have. And for the beginning, there was questions and questions. Is all these games going to be online minus the single players? Nobody knew until it got much closer, and I thought, no one still kind of knew. Everybody kept putting up different stuff. It would have been great if they come out and stated it, but they didn't. Again, I would have paid more to have those games online. So it is what it is. That's my review. That's my feel for this. This is just how I feel, folks. You can dislike and not like it. Gotta give credit where credit's due. Everything else looks super amazing, so... Anyways, like, subscribe, and comment down below. Tell me what you think. What is your favorite game? Do you have a favorite out of all these? What's your favorite arcade? What's your favorite console version? And let me know. Until next time, guys. Thanks for coming in. I don't typically do reviews, but had to at least do it. It's Ninja Turtles. Take care, guys. See, hey everybody, one more quick little thing that I kind of wanted to add. Also, because we're talking about online, I know I realized I kind of forgot as soon as I kind of closed it off there. So, you can matchmake with random people on those games. So, like, with, TMNT Arcade, TMNT Turtles in Time Arcade, Tournament Fighters, and Hyperstone Heist. You can match up with somebody and not just play with a friend or friends. So that is pretty cool. But like I said, I just didn't want to give this game, a 10 out of 10, or nothing like that. I've been seeing people like ranting and raving, and it's like, I can rant and rave because I love Turtles, but I want to be honest. Just can't be honest in giving a stamp of approval on a game that really it went above and beyond in a lot of other features, but at the very end it didn't give me the one thing I really needed, which is I wanted to play some of these other games that were multiplayer or co-op with my friends. And all my friends have moved away, so who am I playing some of these with now? Actually, nobody. Myself. I can just go whip out the NES or my Poly Mega and just play it. Or whatever retro system you seem to have that you installed your NES game on or whatever. And the only way to do that now is to really just go whip out an emulator and download the ROM and play it. I'm not condoning anything that, is not legal. But, I mean, if it's for you and it's something you're gonna do, these guys missed the mark on that. So, like I said, I have to kind of give credit where credit's due, and I have to bash it where I gotta bash it. Like I said, this would have been perfect for me, if we could have done that. I do also want to mention, too, which is typical, the Pizza Hut symbols are not there, specifically because of licensing, and it's very understandable. Just like the TMNT theme song is understandable, you gotta pay for the license for the people who originally sung the song. And I'm sure it's a very known song, so therefore it costs lots of money. Probably not nearly... The Pizza Hut is probably not nearly as much as that, but, yeah. So... And of course, in the manual, I guess, from what I'm understanding, in the back of, not there, to the left, for this one, yeah, TMNT 2, I hear the back is essentially, it used to have like a Pizza Hut back here, and I don't remember where, but yeah, it's not there. You used to get a coupon. So yeah, and I also heard that of course I'm not gonna remember, it's been a while, that the Genesis version of Hyperstone Heist doesn't sound exactly like the Genesis version. I guess they couldn't emulate it very well for the sound effects and the music, but it is going to be close. I don't think it's a huge big deal, but I guess those of you who loved Hyperstone Heist and didn't have a Super Nintendo, maybe you'll be more affected. Yeah, like I said, I hate giving it a 7.5, but it's an amazing collection. Please do not get me wrong. But it's, man, I think it just hurts the fact that I can't get to play, you know, those games online like I wanted and hoped for. Like I said, there's such a difference between Hyperstone Heist and Turtles in Time, you know? And even Turtles in Time to Turtles 4, Turtles in Time from Super NES. And between the three of those, they're so different that I really feel that they all needed to be online, and it's such a shame that it's not. I think it's such a big blow. It is great that we have them. Do not get me wrong. And again, oh yeah, so yeah, you can also change the region. So yeah, you can play the Japanese version. Very different things, you know. Not a whole lot, but it is there. I'm trying to think. I'm just trying to make sure now that since I remembered that there's nothing else here to mention here. You know, of course, enhancements. Yeah, you can change the view and stuff to, like, you know. Well, here, let's go ahead and check it out here. So yeah, you can do sorry, no, it's not what I'm looking for. Here, let's see if I go in here and play game. Oh, here we go. So you can do screen size. You can do full. You can zoom it back out. You can do widescreen, which I don't know why you'd want to do that. You can do filters. You can do TV filter, monitor, LCD, and borders. You can turn them off and back on. You can do save game and load games. You can do all that kind of stuff. You can see the controls, what they do. Like I said, just a little typical stuff that you would probably see normally and typically. Nothing too crazy here. But like I said, I just wanted to at least mention that online, yes, you can at least play with a random person with these games. And maybe too, that is... I wanted to give a little bit more of a picture that maybe that's also why they didn't put this Turtles in Time online. It's because they really just wanted you to be able to play with other people. Maybe it was a fact with the emulator. Maybe it was... You know, maybe it was Nintendo licensing. Maybe the emulators just didn't run well to just at least even play with your friends. Who knows? I would love to hear from the developers on that as to why. But again, 7.5. This is my rating. Take it or leave it. Ninja Turtles are back, folks. We had Shredder's Revenge earlier, which was an amazing game. And don't get me wrong, this is amazing as well. A lot of love poured in both of those games from two different developers. Couldn't be happier. Anyways, guys, again, thanks for coming and checking out the Megazone's review of TMNT The Cowabunga Collection. And again, we'll see you later. Goodbye, everybody.